Wow, hard to believe this day has actually arrived. The return of the morning show. I'm not ready for this. Hey, everybody, welcome to the LPTV Disney Morning Show where we catch you up on what's going on in the world of Disney when we're here. My name is DB Mosley, co founder of Laughing Place. The man to my right is Kyle Burbank, managing editor. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well. Back in the study, which maybe our viewers will remember since you don't.
Long time no see. We talked while I was gone, but the only time I actually
Not really.
see you, and not a lot, but a little bit, in random, indirectly. But the only time I actually see you is when we do this show. So nice to see you. Been too
Me
long.
too.
Before we begin, Kyle, do you want to give my disclaimer here?
Yeah, Doobie is wearing a shirt provided to him by Roosevelt very kindly.
Right? Our legal disclaimer. All right. So we are going to talk to you about what's going on. Say some quick hellos. Hello, Gio. Wubba wubba to you too. Hello, Donna. Happy Monday. That is an oxymoron. And Jeannie plus plus. Good to see you. Aw. Yeah.
Bad news, Jeannie.
Bad news. Ethan, I don't know how, but somehow he has learned that he's supposed to be on strike right now. So he has decided not to show up today. We're going to try to talk him into coming back tomorrow, but we'll
We
see. And
just can't
hello.
have the entire LP staff back at one time.
Hello, Rich. Great to have you here as always, representing MEI Travel, our recommended travel representative. They took care of me on my recent trip. Had a great time. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's get started as we do always with the money. How's the money? I need money, honey.
A little
All
punch
right.
drunk. Back from.
I'm tired too. This is bad. Hey, Kai Kai. So I kind of kept an eye on this while I was gone, and this stock got pretty low while I was gone. So let's give I think the lowest I saw was about 85. Let's start the week right. Is it better than 85?
I sure hope so. I know the S&P's been doing well.
Disney is way up to 88, nearly 89. Bravo.
Way, yeah. We're
Bravo.
still we're still gonna have to do our Disney 100 October bet.
We do. Yeah, let's not forget that. I'm putting that
Or
on your
maybe I
plate.
don't lose more money on top of the money that I'm losing by the stock already being.
You should be accumulating right now. Forget, you're not losing money now. This is a buying opportunity.
It's true.
Because there is no way long term. You're young. You don't need this money now. There's no way long term this stock is not going to go way, way up, right? Right, financial advisor Kyle?
I don't know if this stock will be this stock.
Well, if it gets purchased, then it's definitely going up. Yeah, that's a given. Nikki B has an issue with your background. It is freaking me out. I feel like Seymour's about to eat you.
Sorry, I can't really do much about it.
And maybe Ethan is busy doing a hoedown at the robot farm. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Gio, sometimes you speak a different language. All right. Ethan does not have weather. I'll give you a quick weather report. It's hot everywhere. So let's move on to some actual news. Minion Land finally has an actual official opening date. Kyle, what is it?
August 11th, I believe.
It is August 11th.
So yeah, it's very interesting the way Universal does things versus Disney. Universal will just build things in the open and then be like, "Hey, it's opening in a year," and you're like, "Wow, that's so fast." Or they're like, "Hey, we soft opened this thing, we still haven't announced an opening date," and so then you're like, "Wow, it's opening in 2 weeks."
So August 11th, yeah, less than 2 weeks away. This is Universal Orlando. We've got tons of pictures of Minion Land on our site already. We've got a review of the actual attraction that's yet to officially open. So, but it'll be fun once it's actually there. It means I'm going back to Disney World in September, so looking forward to seeing it. Wait, you're going in October, right?
I'm going, yeah, October, and then probably again in December.
I think I'm going in. I know I'm going in October. I think I'm going in September. No one cares. Why am I bringing this up? In other news that Kyle really cares about, we have a new trailer that we get to watch. Have you watched the trailer already?
I did. I wrote the article before watching the trailer because Becca was downstairs and I wanted to watch it with her. But I'm like, well, I have enough information that I can write the post still. Inside LP.
That's funny. That's funny. So hopefully, I don't know if Mac's going to do a true trailer breakdown later. That's always fun. But right now, we're going to watch the trailer for what, Kyle?
For Loki, Season 2.
Soon.
Hobie? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again!
That's what's been happening.
Wow! Time slipping.
Wait, times, you know that?
Yeah,
You've seen that?
yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present. Hello? If what I saw is true, there's nothing to stand between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out. Little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us to save this place.
Is this cracked?
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies? Make the hard choice. It's him.
You better run!
War is on its way.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think?
I thought it was spot on.
What'd you think?
Yeah, this might not be for me. I can't even comprehend what I just saw there. Granted, I did not see Loki season 1, other than the first episode.
You saw everything everywhere all at once.
But this has, as a Loki fan, which I know you are, does this have you excited, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where this season goes. I love Owen Wilson's character, so I'm glad he's back. And we saw some missed minutes of sorts there.
Was that the flying thing?
The little ghost who looked like
Yeah.
missed minutes, but turned into
Okay.
a Pac-Man ghost or something.
October 6th, Loki season 2. Did you? Well, so, Secret Invasion has ended, right? What did you think of that?
I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't. You can hear me and Mac talk about that on our Zacks of Live from last. I think we did it last Wednesday. There was basically like one part at the end that I thought kind of really sold the idea for me, because obviously, like, it's not a fully there's a story, but I think now the aftermath is what's interesting. So I just hope that they follow up on that.
All right, that's Loki season 2, the next Marvel show coming to Disney Plus. Content machine. In other content, Haunted Mansion debuted at the box office this
Speaking
past
of Owen
weekend.
Wilson, yeah.
Oh, that's an excellent point. Debuted at the box office this weekend. It had expectations of doing maybe $30 million, which even that was kind of a not anything to get excited over. And then it didn't even come close to meeting that, with an estimated $24.2 million. Doesn't help that it ran up against the Barbenheimer juggernaut that just is kicking booty at the box office this summer. I hope they release that somehow on like a two-sided DVD or something. Barbie and Oppenheimer. But Haunted Mansion does seem to be yet another in a line of Disney box office disappointments with 24.2 million. Variety says, I think it was Variety, among the lowest starts ever for Disney's live-action reimaginings of theme park attractions or classic animated films. So, there you go. Have you
But
seen
how
it?
is it compared to Country Bears?
Really? Is that the bar now, Country Bears?
That would be the lowest, right?
Well, that's probably why I said one of the lowest. I doubt it's as low as Country Bears, which was not only a disappointment, but also, 20 years ago? Inflation played a factor. Have you seen Haunted Mansion? Any interest?
I'll wait for Disney Plus. I'm scaredy.
You're okay. One thing I thought, what surprised me, I thought Haunted Mansion was going to be a good movie. I thought it was going to do well on Rotten Tomatoes, even if it disappointed. It's only got 41%. That's
We
a
have
serious disappointment.
2 reviews on our site right now. You can read what Mike Celestino thinks of the movie, or you can read what Jeremiah Good thinks of the movie.
Are they both positive?
You're gonna have to find out.
I should have been
Maybe
prepared for
one is
that.
twice as high as the other, but
Should
maybe
have
they're
read.
both zeros.
So even though Haunted Mansion only did 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's still 30 percentage points higher than the original Haunted Mansion did with Eddie Murphy, which sits at 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Doobie, speaking
they're
of Eddie
getting
Murphy,
better.
though, are you caught up on Claim to Fame?
I am, and looking forward to tonight.
These people, they don't know what we know.
That was yeah, that one was not a hard. I can't believe how good they are at getting them, or how easy the clues are. I'm not sure which way to go. And the fact that the one missed the one that's Elvis Presley is all the more embarrassing now that everyone else is easily getting them.
And they're still wrong about it. They're still at least going down the wrong. At least what they're showing us.
Yeah, has
People
anyone
are on
said
the wrong track.
Has anyone said that they've showed us that we think who we think it is? Who I called the
No.
second I saw his face and said, "Oh, that's done."
I
Yeah,
haven't
that's
heard
what it
that
is."
name at all, which is bizarre, especially since they have the actual clip.
Right. Or we could be wrong.
I don't think so. It seems like way too many coincidences to be wrong.
When it comes down, just remember, Doobie saw the face and instantly called it. Pat myself on the back forever. All right, so Haunted Mansion is disappointing at the box office, disappointing with the critics, but nevertheless, Disney is promoting it at the theme park. So at the Opera House right now, you can go see Haunted Mansion costumes on display, because what goes better with the Walt Disney story and the Frederick Douglass story than Haunted Mansion costumes? There you go. That's
If only
over.
there were some area of New Orleans Square where they could have like a gallery.
But they have one now on Main Street. They have the Disney galleries on Main Street, but they sell stuff there.
Yeah.
And so this is one story that this came down Friday morning. We would have talked about it Friday morning, but had we done a show, and that is the Hatbox Ghost. Now, Kyle, you stay tuned to the socials. How excited were the fans when they got a little more detail on Disney World's Hatbox Ghost?
Well, I'll say that the detail that Disney gave is really confusing. If you read the full sentence, it seems to imply like 3 different things. But no, people are upset because it sounds as though, based on what they said, that the Hatbox Ghost will be placed in the hallway, the never whatever hallway, and that
Endless
was
hallway.
that one before Madame Leota, and Madame Leota is where she summons the spirits and where you can start to see them materialize, because anytime you talk about Haunted Mansion, you have to use the word materialize. It's the rules. So that would kind of break the story. So people are upset about that. But yeah, I do think that there'll be some representation of the Hatbox Ghost there. But the way that they said it was very weird, because then it says he'll also invite himself into the ballroom. That's what it sounded like, or something about awake in the graveyard. So I don't know if he'll appear in the graveyard as well. I'm just very confused about this entire. They should have not said anything. Is what they should have done.
Why did they need to see something? Hey, we're confirming
Because they needed
that
a
the
5th thing to tie into their. Here's how you can celebrate the movie. So they're like, we're gonna have some temporary barriers up, so watch out for those, because we're not gonna tell you when he's arriving, but you'll see us preparing for him. It's like, just shut up.
Just shut up. He's coming. He's still coming. He'll be here when he gets here. And now
we should be outraged then.
Now we have a bunch of fans who are already upset about something that hasn't even happened yet, and we may not even.
Fans are very upset to find out that the Haunted Mansion actually has story.
All right, but in other haunted news at the Magic Kingdom, a lot of stuff going on at Disney World. So let's get through some of it. They're out. The pumpkins are here. The season has begun. The best season of all started today at the Magic Kingdom. I wonder who tweeted that, because I'm not sure I agree with that statement. but it is a good season. So the decor is out. I'm sure Jeremiah will be heading there soon and getting
The season's
tons and
only
tons of
good when it's
pictures.
not 100 degrees, so we'll see if the season is okay.
All right, I got to sneeze.
Good job.
Okay, it's July, and the
Sure.
pumpkins are out on Main Street. This
You
is
think that
ridiculous,
they'd
right?
wither in the heat?
This is ridiculous. We have all of August, all of September, all of October before Halloween even arrives. When they say Halloween season, they don't mean a literal season of 3 months. That's not what they should mean.
You know how people change sometimes their well, I was going to say Twitter, but since you've been gone, it's now X. So if people change their X profile names to like be spooky season, maybe he could be Jeremiah Gord.
That's clever, Kyle.
Thank you.
Agreed with you, Nikki B. Pumpkins now. No, 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 no. Do not bump car in front. Step out. Let's see. Also at Disney World, this is actually some really exciting news for me. The friendship boats are getting a new paint scheme at Disney World. And I love anything aquatic, so I'm really excited to see the new boats. Not much to say about that.
They sent us these great photos that really show off the paint shop.
Well, good news. They start debuting at the end of this month. I've seen on the Twitter's field there are some out there. So Jeremiah or somebody can get themselves over to Epcot. I believe that's the first location, and get some actual pictures that give a little bit of context to what's going on here. But exciting! Friendship boats getting a little paint. Here's
I'm
another picture
still
they gave us.
reeling from the revelation that they are friendship boats, not just called friendships. Always just called them friendships.
It looks like they're also changing some light bulbs. If I can, I'm not a carpenter, but that's what I'm guessing.
Only
is
takes
going on
one
here.
person, only one cast member to do that.
As long as his name, I can't read that. You do realize August 11th is the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. I realize it up here. I refuse to accept it in here. And yeah, we did. We were at Sam's Club yesterday, and we saw an 8-foot skeleton thing, but it was up on a thing that was already like 8 foot tall. So I swear his head was hitting the roof of Sam's Club. He looked enormous and very terrifying. And if he were to fall over, people would die. All right, they cleaned the floor of. Oh wow, feels in a salty mood today. Salty. Let's see other Disney World news.
Which is
Over
weird because
in
the friendships go in
freshwater.
yeah, fresh
Yeah.
water. Couldn't think
What
of the word
happened?
fresh. I had it earlier. And then I lost
Kyle
it.
glitch. I've seen myself glitch many times. I've never seen Kyle glitch before.
Rusty.
Tan roof over in Epcot's what's this area? The Outpost. That's right, the Outpost.
Not Equatorial Africa.
They have so this store closed prior to COVID or with COVID and never reopened over in the Outpost, and now it looks like it ain't opening because they have painted the doors. Created by Kenyan artist Wise 2. Are you familiar with the work of Wise 2, Kyle?
No, I'm not,
Okay.
unfortunately. But I'm enjoying looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's got some good artwork they put on there, so it's quite lovely. You can go see that over in the Outpost at Epcot, and also at Epcot. Everything is happening at Epcot right now. Journey of Water costumes have been revealed, and they're also going to be the new costumes for the Seas Pavilion, which that part saddens me a little bit. I remember those original Seas costumes, bright orange, and my sister-in-law, who, when I lived in Florida, she also in Florida worked there, so I saw the costumes all the time, and you couldn't miss her. Never got lost one time. But now, she's just going to blend in as they are debuting new costumes for the area. So this will be for Journey of Water as well as
Gotta change.
Seas
Flip
with
your
Me, my
sleeve.
friends. Yeah, and if you flip your sleeve, you get a wave. That's what they say. They are continuing Disney's current trend of designing cast costumes to be more comfortable, breathable, and environmentally friendly than ever before.
These are not the evil polyester costumes of torture of the past.
You used to have to earn your job at Disney World. Now they just make it so easy. Journey of Water cast will wear their sleeves rolled to expose a wavy design, making it easier to sail between aquatic, conservation-focused adventures in world nature. So if you're at the Seas, I guess you roll it down, and then if you're Journey of Water, you roll it up and expose the... Yeah. Anyway, new costumes, always fun. Journey of Water will open in late 2023. Wait, in my whole time away, we never got a date for Journey of Water opening?
No. You know, you were only gone for like a week, right?
It feels like I was on another planet, Kyle. I got
Another
on an
planet in the lower 48.
I got on an airplane. I went to Salt Lake, a place I'm very familiar with. Got on another airplane. 39-minute flight. When I landed, I was not on Earth. No Earth I've ever seen before. I felt like I was on a different planet. I don't know where in the country I was. I know I was in the state of Wyoming. I don't know where Wyoming is. I don't know where in Wyoming I was. As far as I'm concerned, I was on a different planet for 7 days, and then at the end of it, got back on a plane, magically back in Salt Lake City 45 minutes later. So, no, I was not only gone for 7 days. I was in a galaxy far, far away. 7 days for you, an eternity for me.
Time works differently in Wyoming, which is not Wisconsin.
Yeah, took me for... Oh, you know what I was far worse than that? Was I kept
Montana?
calling Yellowstone Yosemite.
Oh.
Like, to our guide, I would ask him a question about Yosemite. He's like, don't you mean Yellowstone? Yes, I do. And finally...
To be fair, though, if you confused it with Montana, there is one that goes Montana and Wyoming, but this was just the Wyoming one.
Yes, they're right. And Yellowstone is partially in Montana. And Idaho, because I did see a map yesterday. But we were just in Wyoming. Oh, I was so hoping to see a picture of the family on horseback with cowboy hats. So we did not, I was not allowed to torture a horse with my weight. They do have a weight limit that I exceeded. But Rebecca and Gideon did ride a horse without cowboy hat, unfortunately. But they did absolutely get on the horse.
You can check out plenty of their photos on Saturday's replay of DTL. It's definitely trivia sometimes.
Usually when we do something like this, we'll do an after show. But there was just so much to cover. Like, let's do it this way. So yeah, as we asked each question, we did a travel log, 26 pictures, lots of discussion, about an hour and a half show. I really like doing it that way.
It was 2 hours.
2-hour show. I really like doing it that way.
I know, because I'm on the East Coast right now, so I felt every minute.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I enjoyed this trip. As I said, I've been on 12 cruises. I've always said cruising is the best vacation imaginable. This is now my favorite vacation of all time, which blows me away because I don't even like the outdoors. So many bugs. All right, this story I had to read like 3 times because I was not convinced that this wasn't a joke. But it's not, apparently.
Yeah, I don't quite know what this is yet. It's a new attraction called Smellephants on Parade, sponsored by Sensi. You're apparently going to, like, I'm sorry about all this noise. Smell different things. It looks like that's one I would imagine is like popcorn scent that you're supposed to get. Maybe there's like a scavenger hunt element to it. But more importantly, it seems like Sensi is going to be sponsoring the Dumbo attraction. So, yeah, very weird random announcement with very few details. Yeah, that's all I got. Smellephants on Parade.
You think... Since he's going around, we want to sponsor an attraction that can really show off our smells. Let's do one based on elephants. And but then,
do you think it was one of their client or whatever they're called, the individual sellers that had to convince Disney to do this? Do they get a bonus from this?
I'm trying to do some Dumbo flying elephant MLM thing, but nothing's coming right. Is Sensi an MLM?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Laughing Place has no opinion on MLMs when they are sponsors of Disney and potential affiliate partners of ours.
Well, I don't think they have affiliate partners. They have direct sellers. So we have somebody that when Alex writes about these things that I'm sure appreciates him.
And good news, if you're a fan of the product, you can get yours at a discount and also expose it. Not going down the MLM rabbit hole, which is different from a pyramid scheme.
I was going to say, do you think our guys that went around the world saw the great MLMs of Egypt?
Pyramid schemes are illegal. MLMs are legal. You're probably not going to get rich off of them like you think you are, but they are legal. Okay, moving on. Steakhouse 55. Oh, we're going to Disneyland now. That was all the Disney World stuff we have. Although there's been a lot of stuff happening. So tune in today at 4 p.m. Pacific for Disney Parks Talk Live, The Return. And we will get into more of what's going on in the world, Disney World. But At Disneyland, what was the Steakhouse 55 email referenced in Slack, Kyle?
So inside baseball again, Benji puts in Steak Fit to House 55 email. I'm like, oh, I love Steakhouse 55. I'm excited to see what's happening. They're just confirming that it's not coming back. They're going to be doing some work over there. It sounds like they're going to have some flexible lounge space that'll be available for their seasonal bar over there. So you might see some construction. That area is going to look a lot more like the rest of the Disneyland hotels. It's going to be a lot brighter and look more like the lobby that it currently does. So if you see work over there, they're not bringing back Steakhouse 55. They're actively moving further away from it because they'll actually be removing the sign too.
Sorry, I just saw something that I think we should talk about, and this is actual breaking news and not of the good variety. So I just want to confirm this does definitely seem to be real. So let's do it. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, and the voice of Rex in Star Tours died. Were you aware of this, Kyle?
I was not, but now I'm going to go find it and put it in to do.
Yeah,
Unless you already did.
No, I didn't. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, not much more to say at this point.
I was a huge fan of Pee-wee's Playhouse as a kid. Pee-wee's Big Adventure remains one of my favorite films. Tim Burton's directorial debut. I love it so much. And of course, I love the original Star Tours, so it was always cool getting to hear his voice there. So yeah, it's definitely a big role in my childhood.
I'm just going to read this real quick. This is a retweet, but of his Twitter or Instagram. I'm not sure which, but from him. Last night we said farewell to Paul Rubens, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, and producer whose beloved character Pee Wee Herman delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness. Paul bravely and privately fought cancer for years with his trademark tenacity and wit. A gifted and prolific talent, he will forever live in the comedy pantheon and in our hearts as a treasured friend and man of remarkable character and generosity of spirit. Wow, that is some sad, sad news. All right. Obviously, we'll be putting a bit on the website if you're interested in reading a lot more. I'm sure that Twitter is so many fans. Pee Wee Herman, one of his beloved characters, so I'm sure Twitter is full of people pouring out their hearts, as it should be. This is good Twitter. All right, getting back to Disneyland. Looks like Tiana's Palace. I don't think Mike has gotten out there since this happened. I can't wait for him to get some more pictures. But the smokestack, the very, very colorful facade for Tiana's Palace.
It looks nice.
Replaced French Market over at Disneyland's New Orleans Square. Looks beautiful. Goodness, this looks nice. I can just see her up there. They should have her up there like singing and stuff, don't you think? Like she did on the Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward. I know this is such a tight picture. I'm really looking forward to Mike getting some more context on this and see what it really looks like. But so far, based on that, it looks truly beautiful. Forgive us if we're a little distracted, if we have work to do when we have breaking news, but we'll try to stay a little bit focused. Disneyland is holding auditions for Joe Gardner from Pixar's Soul. Do we have any idea why?
I do not. Does it say anything in there? I know. So one of the things that we learned while you were gone was that Fantasmic would be on hold until at least spring 2024. And as part of that, they've already have like the Jambalaya Jazz Band and Queenie are now doing a little floating thing. So maybe this is part of another entertainment offering that they're trying to bring it while we wait for that.
That would make sense.
But this happened over the weekend, I believe. So I did not have.
And they did give it a little more information. They said they're actually looking for a jazz pianist. So they must be able to play proficiently in the solo piano jazz style and will be required to learn specific music and also be able to engage with guests within the story of the film. So I'm trying to think. I can't think of any character that plays an instrument and also talks to guests currently in a park. Nothing really comes to mind. I mean, Rod Miller did that for years, but he actually was playing himself,
I don't think he can
not
play
an
this
animated
role.
character. He could not play this role. I mean, you know, but traditionally he could not play this role. But yeah, a character who both performs and engages Oh, sounds really interesting. I mean, it's going to require quite a talented performer to do all that. So whatever is in store here, it's kind of exciting. So applications must submit a virtual audition by Monday, August 28th. So that can give you some idea of what the time frame is they're looking for. And who knows what it's for.
They could bring over the piano playing mobile thing in Disney Springs.
No.
Okay.
Maybe they'll stick them on the Mark Twain. Yeah, that could be. So that could be maybe like a hotel or something at Pixar. Oh, that's true. It could be something at Pixar Hotel, the Pixar Place. What is that called? Pixar Place Hotel.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's true. That's like their low-end hotel. They're not going to
Track
get something
all this
cool
nomenclature
like
anymore.
that. They're not going to put something this cool in a Pixar hotel, Kyle, Tony. Not everyone loves Pixar the way you do. All right, Tony, you're here. I should have had you come on to talk about this. In fact, Tony, is he working now? If you're available, not if you're writing a very important obituary right now, but if you are available, Tony, get yourself in StreamYard so I can talk to you about this next item. If you're not, just put a message in the chat so I know not to wait for you. Around the world. So what's the latest on the Around the World trip, Kyle?
Today is the last official day of programming. I believe today they're doing, they started at Epcot. They're doing the tasting lab, flavor lab, whatever it's called. Tonight, they're going to be having their farewell dinner. So obviously the 24th day is tomorrow when everybody goes back to where they may be from. But today is the actual last day of their program. So they've been in Florida for the past couple of days. They went to Disneyland Paris for a couple of days, and the city of Paris. Those are all up right now, including the first day of Walt Disney World. Well, actually going to Walt Disney World and then Magic Kingdom. Both of those reports are now up. I'm sure he'll be rounding it out the next couple of days. So yeah, they made it. It went by fairly quickly. Well, never mind.
Did it seem to go smoothly?
But I don't think I can.
But did it seem to go pretty smoothly?
As far as I can tell, yeah. I mean, they made it, right? Looking at now, there's like a typhoon near Hong Kong. So I was like, yeah, good thing that they chose this timing. That would be frustrating to have to work around that.
So when I left, I think they were in Shanghai, and then since then they went to...
It was hard to tell.
Paris.
He's dropping in. I'm like, wow, over the course of 12 hours, you've had 3 different days. It's kind of weird.
Paris, Egypt, Paris the city, not just the park. Such cool stuff. I can't wait for Ben to get back and can talk to him about it, both at this level and at this level. But really fun. And then while they were on their Adventures by Disney, me, my wife, my son, we were on our Adventures by Disney. They got to go around the world. We went to another planet called Wyoming, and at the time of our lives, got to spend 2 nights in Jackson, Wyoming, then went up to Yellowstone, Old Faithful, and spent the night at the Old Faithful Inn, and then went to a planet within a planet called the Brooks Lake Lodge, which was just the most spectacular, serene, luxurious place you can imagine. We had the lodge all to ourselves, just the 25 of us on the adventure, plus our 2 guides, plus all the ranch hands. It's just kind of a luxurious dude ranch, a kind of place I didn't even know existed until I experienced it, and it was spectacular. And as Kyle said, we talked about it extensively on Disney Trivia Live yesterday, if you want to go watch that. I am going to do a day-by-day trip report. I didn't want to overlap with the Around the World trip, but that is in progress, and after theirs is done, you'll be able to read a day-by-day trip report from me, as well as just kind of a general, now that I've done it, this is what Adventures by Disney is, and why you might be interested in it too. So look forward to that on the site. And Tony was not able to join us, so we will just go ahead and do this on our own. So yesterday, I don't know why I said yesterday, because that's not accurate. Actually, I think it was Friday, that the final Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse adventure hit the air, called Steamboat Silly. And, I don't usually watch cartoons, but I actually put this one on, and I'm so glad I did. Did you see it, Kyle?
I have not yet, but I know Tony was raving about it, and I've seen a lot of other really good reviews.
It is so good. So hilarious. So Mickey Mouse is feeling nostalgic. He finds some old. Oh, give me 5 minutes. All right, this is worth waiting for Tony, in my humble opinion. So we will wait for Tony. Why don't we go on to one other thing? I got to see two things. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm going to see it tonight. So looking forward to that. And Slumber Party on Disney Plus, the latest Disney Plus original movie. I watched with Rebecca last night. Have you seen Slumber Party?
No.
I'm not 14. No. It was funny. It was cute. It was good. We kind of liked it. You know what? When one of these things comes out and it's actually good, you're like, Disney can make simple, good family movies, and they just aren't doing it anymore. And it's kind of sad that's, I'm not necessarily blaming them other than that's just what economics dictates. But this was kind of what Disney Plus was created for. And every time one of these comes out, you're thinking, this is, getting towards the end. They're not doing these anymore. But it was it was basically The Hangover, but using hypnosis because they're teenage girls. And it was just a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Recommend it. Pretty much, not the entire family, but, down to maybe 12 years old or so, somewhere in that range. You can comfortably watch it. Maybe a little bit younger. Yeah, recommend Slumber Party. All right, we are going to do This Day in Disney History until Tony is ready to join us to talk about Steamboat Silly, which probably is the best. It was a Disney Channel original movie, not a Disney Plus movie. Now available on Disney. So I wonder.
One and the same.
I know, they really, at least up until now, they really were just a matter of where they want to put the expense to. So I wonder if we're going to see a reduction in this type of Disney Channel original movie too, since, they're cut the Disney
Well, it
Plus
slowed
spending.
way down. Remember when they used to do them like every week? And now it's,
sad.
a couple times a year.
We'll see. I like them. I hope they continue. Even the ones I don't like, I like that they're doing them. So hopefully they will continue. But now, while we wait for our animation expert, let us do. All right, a little behind the scenes. Obviously, Paul Rubens passes away. Twitter is pouring out their hearts there. And then in our little world, in our internal Slack, our own team pours out their hearts too. Oh, Tony's here. We will put that on hold. To be seeing Dial of Destiny and looking forward to it, I'm shocked. What do you mean, Justin? I like a good movie. You ready, Tony? No, Tony is not ready. All right, on this day in 1955, an attraction opened at Disneyland, Kyle. Now remember, 1955.
I got 1955.
I'll give you a hint. It was actually there on opening day, but wasn't opening properly. So now, this is
Okay. So is it the flying saucers?
It is not. That is not an opening day attraction.
I don't know. Wasn't working properly. Lots of things probably weren't working properly. Asphalt. Was it the toilets?
Tony, do you know what opened officially on this day in 1955?
July 31st, 1955.
Yes.
The Mickey Mouse Club Circus.
Oh, so close, so close. It was Casey Jr. Circus Train.
Ah,
there you go.
Different service.
Right. We're going to bring on Tony, but we can't just bring him on.
I'm already here.
And now, joining the show is someone very special. We have a mutual friend in Wally. He's the Doobster's favorite person on Earth, and he's a tub time extraordinaire. You know him. You may or may not love him. Here he is. Drumroll. Technically Tony.
Glad we
Tony.
adjusted that for a guy who never shows up anymore.
Tony.
What's up?
So
Sorry,
I know
my phone's
you're...
exploding with Paul Rubens stuff. So.
Yeah. Very good. Donna got it. Rebecca got it. It was Casey Jr. All right. So we know that you're an animation expert and you got to write a story on the final one of these shorts. So just talk to us about how awesome it is and any background info you have.
First of all, a lot of people aren't realizing this, so I'm going to say it again. That is the last of the new Mickey shorts. And they I'd like to think they went out with a bang. And I said I basically gave a standing ovation in my living room. Not so much for that one, which was fantastic, but it was just like, that's the best way to end that. I absolutely loved it. there's a lot of little details and references and I won't say Easter eggs per se because they're kind of right there. There's really one Easter egg I noticed where it's the Mickey brings his box of trinkets from upstairs, and it's the original Mickey Mouse plush doll that was released, and it's in there. But the end note, spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and mute for 30 seconds. Mickey is putting all the rest of his home movies away after he contains all the Steamboat Willies that get loose, and they all erupt into the same kind of cacophony that's already been going through, and it's almost any Mickey you can think of that we've seen. Almost any. And I joked and I said, well, there's no runaway brain Mickey, but they do have the 1955 Nash Rambler commercial Mickey in there as well, and that blew my mind. And it's all done in the same style of the originals, and I was really jealous of anybody who worked on that 30 seconds of the short, because it's not lifted. They recreated them with a similar aesthetic. So it's fantastic.
Now, I noted in your article you also talked of some behind-the-scenes stuff. Anything come to mind you want to share?
Regarding what?
Like the filmmakers and what they talked about they were trying to achieve there. I mean, am I wrong? I read the article.
Yeah, it was a lot of the one thing I think about with that is the music and how it's Mickey Mousing because of the term where all the action goes up and down with the music. But I also paid a lot of attention to the technical, the sound quality of it. Whenever Steamboat Willie started ingratiating himself into the town, it was the grainy, early sound audio. But as they became more prevalent, the audio got clearer and more up-to-date standards. So
cool. Yeah, some stuff to read and then rewatch. So, spoiler alert: I'm about to show a still from towards the end of the short.
Yep.
Look at all those Mickeys all over the place. It was so clever.
Through the mirror,
like your shirt,
playing crazy. Yes. Mickey and the Beanstalk, nifty 90s. But yeah, right under Goofy's midsection, you could see the 1955 Nash Rambler Mickey.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know that reference. That's really cool.
It's a car commercial that featured Mickey Mouse in it, but he's very stylized. And I saw it. I'm like, I couldn't remember specifically what the car was. I did have to Google that, so I will talk about that. But yeah,
that is so cool. What a fun short! I know when Steamboat Willie jumps out, and then they just start jumping out of various frames and stuff. And lots of, like you said, the Easter eggs aren't necessarily hard to spot, so maybe they're not Easter eggs, but there's lots of the Pixar references in there. The classroom.
Why would there be Pixar references in there?
The classroom. So it's not.
Okay.
Necessarily, but
I'd say Pixar took ownership of it, but it's not. Because
you're right.
Watch old Simpsons episodes, and the Iron Giant has one in there. Anybody who went to Cal Arts basically snuck it in there somewhere.
Yeah, you are correct. Thank you for the correction, technically, Tony. Surprised Kyle didn't hit the button. There's an El Capitan theater in there. Obviously, Hidden Mickey's fun. So.
The Make My Music Theater is what I noticed really easily. Or not Make My Music Theater, Make My Music Store.
Very cute. Anything else about this you want to mention?
About this, watch it. Go watch it. It's worth the watch. It's about 9 minutes. There is one joke that I had to rewind and restart the short because I was laughing so hard at one joke. And that's at the very beginning. Mickey goes, "Oh, my contacts!" And he pops on, and it's the pupils, the classic.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And then gets him out and back to himself.
Yep.
Anything else about anything else you're working on or anything in the news?
I'm just about to start our Paul stuff, and I found a statement from him that apparently would be left. It was just sent to me. It's kind of sad, but I'll read it. Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years. I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, fans, and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you. So.
Paul Rubens passed away yesterday, I guess. News came out today.
Can I share a fun story? It's on topic.
Yeah.
It was the first time Paul Rubens ever broke my heart, and I wasn't even there for it. So a friend of mine worked really closely with him on Pee-wee's Playhouse on Broadway when they brought it back around 2010-ish. She was a puppeteer in that show, and that was when around that time was when they announced the new Star Tours. And during a Q&A with him after the show, one of the audience members said, "Do you have any involvement in the new Star Tours?" And he joked and laughed and said, apparently I don't, because this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Aw. Oh,
But
that's so
then
sad.
he goes backstage and is just beaten down and sad and goes, well, why would they take my character away? And got like so brokenhearted about it, which is why it pleased me so greatly when he came back to do DJ Rex. So he got his chance to come back. So
Somehow I don't think Eric Idle would have that same reaction.
no. Have I told you that? I could have broke that news in 2004. I will always harp on that because I did a meet and greet with him because a friend of mine was on his road team, or his street team, I should say, and he was in Eugene, Oregon, and we went to his one-man show that had like 8 people in it. But moving on, afterward there was a little meet and greet, and he pompously, but part of his act was like, "As you approach me, tell me who your favorite character I've ever portrayed is, and then I'll sign something for you." Okay, so everybody goes up, and people are like, Monty Python and the Holy Grail characters from that. Somebody even said Dibs from Casper, which I was impressed by. Like, oh yeah, good job. But then I went up and said Dr. Nigel Channing, and I'm going to edit this for this broadcast. He said, "Who the heck is that?" Without any hint of irony or anything. And yeah, that's like Disney Parks, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Oh, right. Sign, move on. So,
Meant so much to him.
Yep.
All right, Tony, you got work to do. Thanks a lot for coming on. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Tony Betty, everybody. Tony Betty.
So my favorite bit is when there's the noise so loud that the StreamYard's like, "You're on mute," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's why."
That's right. All right, let's get back to this day in Disney history. That's right. That was Casey Jr. Circus Train. All right, on this day in 1974, a film came out. Live action.
Okay.
Featuring the music of John Denver, a man named Bob Leslie adopts 3 cub bears and later faces one of the hardest decisions of his life.
Ooh, sounds like a thing I should know.
And yet, you've probably
Country
never
Road.
heard of The Bears and I.
I was close.
Yeah. Have you heard of The Bears and I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me either. Not until yesterday. All right, on this day in 1979, an actor was born, not most known for his Disney work, but he does have a Disney credit in I'm trying to give this to you. As soon as I give you the Disney credit, you're going to know right away.
What year was it again?
He was born in 1979.
Okay.
He is most known as a writer and a second-tier star in a long-running sitcom, or long-running comedy. I'm not sure it's a sitcom.
Okay.
And then he had a...
Okay, so is
awesome,
it BJ Novak?
It is BJ Novak. Way to go. BJ Novak, who played one of the Sherman brothers, and as soon as I see this picture, I'll know which one. I believe he played Robert Sherman in Saving Mr. Banks. Cool part is, I say Robert Sherman, I got a 50-50 chance.
I think you're right. But I also don't remember.
I remember that casting. Like, cool, the guy from The Office. Yes, kind of like you said, we're right. The guy from The Office is going to be one of the
So
Sherman
Jason
brothers.
Schwartzman is Richard.
On this day in 1994, the Disney Channel premiere film, as they were called back then, based on the Newbery medal-winning children's book by Sid Fleischman, first published in 1987. The film tells the story of bored and spoiled Prince Horace and his title of the film, Jimmy. Jimmy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard of this one. Whipping Boy.
All right.
Anyone heard of Whipping Boy? Oh, Rebecca says The Bears and I has one of her favorite Disney songs, Sweet Surrender. I'm guessing by Bob Denver. Right.
Or John
right.
Denver.
It doesn't start just sit right back and you're here. No, you're right. John Denver. You're one of those Denvers.
It's a
Denver Kyle.
3-hour movie.
It's called Pirates. On this day in 1995, Disney made. This kind of kicked off the Disney is acquiring big stuff in 1995.
ABC Capital Cities.
That's right. Capital Cities, ABC, Disney made that acquisition. They announced that acquisition. Acquisitions take forever, but they announced it on this day in 1995.
Some take forever. Big ones take forever.
And there's Michael Eisner, who was the head of Disney back then. Of course, with that acquisition came one Bob Iger, who went on to become the greatest CEO of all time.
Until
all right. The first time around, yes. Bob Iger, Series 1. On this day in 2015, one of the most well-known Disney Channel movies of all time debuted modernized depictions of the teenage children based on the villains featured in Walt Disney Studios' animated...
Descendants.
It is Descendants. That one's not hard.
I would have gone there without the hints, probably, but I would have gone through like zombies and that probably just zombies would have been my.
I think we're at the Descendants 3, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, one of the stars.
There's a fourth one coming, but it's like a reboot.
And on the left there, the late Cameron Boyce, who passed away shortly after. Very sad. Cutie says, "This is my favorite." Awesome. Well, happy 8th birthday to your favorite movie. On this day in 2020, I believe this is a DCOM. Young teen Nori Boxwood Horace discovers she can flux into animals, and her best friend Rena Carvajal can manipulate flames. Together they enter the Sage Academy for Magical Studies, where Rena's expert ability to harness the power of fire lands her at the top of her class.
You think I would know, since it was only a few years ago.
Yeah.
No idea.
Called Upside Down Magic.
Okay. Heard of it. Couldn't
At least
have
you've heard
told
of
you
it.
that's what it was about.
Yeah, me either. Right. I think that's our show. We're back. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back at 4. I plan to be back after that, even if it requires some recruitment.
Yes, I'm going to be going to Gen Con later this week. We did, while you were gone, lots of Disney Lorcana news broke, so you can check out my overall thoughts on the new game after getting to try it out as someone who's never really been familiar with trading card games before. They also released the app, so you can see all sorts of card designs for that. But I'll be at the world debut of Lorcana at Gen Con before it hits. It's coming to hobby shops on August 18th, and then it'll be at major retailers next month.
Oh, that's cute.
Not next month, because next month is still August, but September. September.
Cool. And we'll be back at 4 p.m. today to talk Disney Parks Talk Live. So much happening in the world of theme parks lately, so we're going to go through that with myself, my wife, Rebecca, Jeremy, and Mike. Jeremiah. Wow. Jeremy and Mark. Yes. No, Jeremiah and Mike Celestino, and I'm sure
It's been a long time, dude.
they'll also be talking about Paul Rubens and his sad news that just broke this morning. Yeah, great to be back. And I'll be back with you tomorrow. Thanks, Kyle. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Everybody. Oh, man.